Okay. So, who has something to present? Any updates? So today maybe what we could do is we will need to look at some updates on your progress.
We have updates, but let me text Arisa. Arisa, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can show screen. I mean, like share screen because I'm using my iPad.
The Google Docs, is it?
No, just share the Google Drive yesterday because everything's there, right?
Okay, jap.
Okay.
So why? Okay, I know. And if you want me to get into your game, then do let me know. So for those who want to be in your group sections in Discord, you can go ahead and get there, so I can come to you and talk to you separately. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Can I share screen now?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. So I'll show you the document first. Wait, let me just zoom out a bit. Okay. So for now, we named it Ormus. That's
Alright.
the name of our game. And this is our table of content. But not all of it are filled yet. We're still figuring out certain pieces.
Yeah. This is pretty early though.
Oh, really? I thought
Yeah. Wow. Super early.
Yeah. So the game description is Ormus is a fantasy themed board game that utilizes the 52 card deck, where players must select their figurines through a series of Blackjack 21 battles amongst themselves. And the game narrative is pretty long, but basically the story that we wrote of what caused the war and yeah. Because we plan to make a little booklet that explains the history of the game. With, yeah, alongside the how to play and the stories behind the characters. Yeah, do you want to read it yourself or do you want me to read it?
No, I don't. I can read it myself. Not to worry.
Okay.
Or maybe just like
The synopsis.
yeah.
Okay, so like for the synopsis, it's long ago in Ormus there were like 9 races were having war amongst each other, and there was always bloodshed every day until a sorcerer came to help the king and make all the races to have an agreement. And the races are the mythical creatures. And for several years, they lived diplomatically until a small feud broke out. And at this point, the sorcerer was too weak to control them again. So now it's like a battle among all of the races to see who gets to control the whole country. Yeah, that's basically the gist of the narrative. And then, Shara, you want to explain?
Okay, wait. Can you show me the slides also? The slides before, like it's not there. I'll edit. Oh, we also did the playtest form already.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Great.
maybe you can show the playtest form first. It's in the Google Drive. There. So this is the playtest form.
Perfect. That's great. Any reference? Is this based on a specific any established playtest?
Yeah. It was from a website. I'll add in the reference list in the Google Docs in the project document.
Okay, so you have references. So that's good. Yeah.
Okay. And in the slide, I already did the map. It's this is the map. I haven't added the title and all yet, but yeah, that's what the map looks like.
How did you come up with the name Orimus?
My boyfriend helped me.
Okay. How sweet. Quite imaginative.
So that's the map,
Mhm.
and the races are still the same from last time. And that's the only new things that we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds really exciting, but the way you played is using those cards.
Yeah, Blackjack 21.
Blackjack 21. My
Yeah.
gosh. I'm curious about the title of your game. Blackjack 21 and nice. Brilliant.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, nice work. I
Thank you.
quite like it.
But we're having issues on like importing 3D models into tabletop game.
Mm.
Arisa, like you couldn't do it also, right?
Oh yeah, I was able to do like all the 2D figurines, like the cards and stuff, and customize the table. But when I tried to upload the OBJ file for the figurines, it keeps on failing. I'm not too sure why.
So how are you gonna deal with that?
Not too sure yet. I'm looking at some tutorials because I feel like I'm doing everything right, but I don't know why I don't know if there's something wrong with the file, but I downloaded from different websites, and every time I upload the OBJ file, it fails.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find a workaround on that one.
Yeah, and we were thinking like if the worst case scenario couldn't download the figurines, we'll just use the 2D card stand type of figurines instead.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's our backup plan. We'll just use 2D it's a figurine also, but it's gonna be just 2D, not 3D.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe like a coin.
Yeah, I think that's fine as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think the most important thing is the gameplay. I think the most important thing is if you have a ready-made gameplay or a playable model, then we can start playing first. We can worry. What I can see is established here is that you have a narrative. You already have some kind of game structure here. I mean, because it ties directly into the narrative, and and you are adapting the Blackjack 21. So I think that the key here is for you to use temporary assets first, like lorem ipsum lah, and you just use those, and we start to play test it already start to play it with yourself among yourselves first, and then get your friends in. But every time you play, the catch is this: every time you play, you note down changes. You note down weaknesses, but you might not want to interrupt yourself while playing. As you go along, they said, "Hey, I got an idea." Oh no, don't do that, because if you're gonna do that, you'll never finish the game. You got to finish the game with the existing rules first, okay, and go through that 1 or 2 rounds, and then stop there and then discuss. Okay, then note something down. Note what do you think needs, what the problems there? What problems do you see there? I mean, why and what, and all that. Note down all those things by yourselves first, okay, and then maybe you want to play another round with minor changes in the condition first. But this maybe it is happening among yourself. Then once you think that it's somewhat playable now, but this is coming from you now. You're the only ones giving your feedback. Then bring 1 or 2 people in and play. Sometimes you could, sometimes I think you could have say an offline version that maybe it's a printed out version or something that you can actually play physically. Then probably easier to have feedback that way, or you can use tabletop sim if you have temporary assets in there, things like that. So now is a time for you to play every week, make play gameplay like your weekly activity.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weekly therapy and activity, kind of like that.
So like for now.
Yeah, and I'm flexible. Usually my game nights, before this semester, my game nights are usually around like Wednesday night or Thursday nights. And if you text me, usually around 11-ish or something, or maybe, but it depends. It really depends. I'm not saying I'm readily available. I'm just saying, I remain open. My doors, my options are open. Just have to text me and check with me whether I'm okay that evening to meet for a quick game time, things like that. Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, so you'll give me a good reason to learn Blackjack 21. I mean, I kind of know how to play it, but there might, but bear in mind that because you're adapting, I said the word adapting, so Blackjack 21 can be adapted, but not necessarily it is Blackjack. Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, there's a catch there. So think about it, but just use Blackjack mechanics first. That same 21, achieve 21. But will there be a significance to get 21 in order for anything to happen in that world? So things like that. So there are things that you might discover as you play along. So I think this is really good. I think you are getting there. You're getting into the river right now. I think start to set sail and get going on this.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Awesome. I think it's pretty clear cut. So hopefully maybe next week we could try something on tabletop sim. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, sir.
All right. You're welcome. Okay, that's great. Found God. Have found something. Okay. What about Cool Paladins, Logic Nerds, Name is WIP, RPG, Soul Razor?
We have something to show for, but it's not complete yet. It's still kind of a work in progress because there's some system we need to figure it out. But we want to know if the assets that we have chosen are passable by for you. So.
Okay, you want to present your screen?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Let's see. I want to know if this is clear.
Wait. Watch stream. Okay.
Right. So these are some of the these are some of the assets that we have gotten. We've gotten quite a few, especially the walls. And we also changed out the gameplay rules that I will not go too deep into detail for this time. But yeah, but our issue with some of the assets that we have is that it's not that easy finding original assets that are not exactly copyrighted. For example, this little guy here, this guy here, and not this guy. This guy is from the tabletop. This guy is from the game Dark Souls.
Oh, right? Okay.
Then we have some from the League of Legends series. That's not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And this is from Descent of the Dark, which is another board game. So the first thing that we have to wonder is if the assets are passable, and if it's okay.
Of course. I think what's important here is how the gameplay. Again, I must stress on the gameplay. And I did mention that when you guys want to present your game, it's very important for you to know how to present your game or introduce your game. That's very important. Okay. Any game, because if you notice any other games in this world, how it's introduced will draw the players in. Yeah. Right. So how would you introduce this game to me that will draw me into this game?
Then in that case, I'll attempt to explain the core gameplay again.
Don't explain the core gameplay. What is this game about?
This game.
Give me a reason to want to play this game.
4 players who are also dungeon masters are fighting for the control of the entire labyrinth.
So I'm a dungeon master. I'm going to fight with 3
With a
others to control
You're
the
gonna flip-
labyrinth.
Yes, with the last one
Oh.
standing to control the labyrinth.
Which is the labyrinth?
This whole place is a labyrinth, which is where our next part comes in. Each player will get. What you hear? Each player will get 10 pieces of wall, which they will use to make the labyrinth their own, to make their side of the labyrinth more customizable. So in this case, I'm just attempting to make my labyrinth now, and another 4 players will do the same. And this is your territory. Within the territory, you are also to have treasure chests as well. Oh, why is it? There we go, treasure chest. And under the treasure chest is what is placed as a card. So we have gold, we have trap monsters, and we have equipment. We'll separate it to these 3 types. So obviously, if you encounter a monster, the player would be able to place chests and walls around their own territory, and then themselves will have to explore out of their own territory to get loots.
Okay.
Okay. And during some of this loot, some of the loots will be monsters, while some of the loots would be money, and some of the loots would be equipment that they can fuse to make higher tier, better equipment like this. For example, how do I zoom in for this thing? For example, this thing is made with 2 swords, right? So we use to combine the old system for the new one. Yeah, and then we were planning to have a merchant, and we took your suggestion last time where we have a merchant. The red blocks is to represent the route that he'll be taking. He will start at a certain location, a random location, and every time when we roll a dice, he will move to the step, and he will just keep going in a circle within everybody's part of their territory.
So it's like a chance meetup with the merchant.
You can pursue the merchant, or you can walk to the merchant where you know his route is going to be, because he's going on a fixed route. So it's like you can just like stand here. You can prepare yourself to stand here, and you'll probably encounter him on the way.
But what are those blocks? What are those red blocks actually?
His route. It's not actually going to be in the actual game. The red blocks are not going to be in the actual game, but we're just thinking that this is just to represent the route that he'll be taking.
That's the markers. It's just markers.
This is just a marker to represent route.
Okay.
The route, and even if there's a wall, he will bypass walls.
Which
Just for
means
himself.
it'd be good to put colored tiles. Obviously, by that time you will have maybe probably the actual graphic for that board, right?
Yeah. This is just something that we kind of thought
Sure.
about very right at the last minute, but we think that we want to twist in
Sure.
our final gameplay system.
Okay.
Okay. So once again, Dragon, it's not a compulsory objective. It's a bonus that if you have nothing to do, or if you're very strong, you want to get even further ahead, you can
So if it's
choose
not-
to fight the dragon.
If it's not a compulsory objective, why is it in the center?
Accessibility for all for everybody's territory. So remember, every tile. This part. Let's say I'm this player. This
Yeah.
whole part is my territory. This whole part is your territory, and this whole part is another player, and this whole part is another player. This is for it to be just at the center. Is just so that everybody has a more equal opportunity to the dragon.
Okay. Nobody wants to go near the dragon. I wouldn't. But anyway, I see your point. All right. I would like to ask feedback from the others. Guys, did you understand what Proxigo was explaining? Did you understand this game so far? Anyone have anything comments? Come on, you gotta help him. He needs feedback.
Please.
Guys, hello.
I really like the design.
It's
Yeah.
very much copyright stolen.
It's not
Oh,
not the
okay.
final design. This one he's just a lot of placeholders here. All placeholders pretty much.
Not necessarily. I mean, I don't think I don't know, and I don't think that I am going to use make my own models. That's one
Oh
thing
no
I'm
no no
considering.
no no. 3D model is fine. You want to adapt the 3D model, okay, but just don't. Some 3D, some of them, I think that's fine in terms of using the character 3D characters and some, you know, treasure chests and what other items. That's okay, but I think at least the board design, yeah,
Right.
the board design I think must be that's important. So at least you
Right.
have a board design, yeah.
Right.
So
I suppose the merchant route we got fixed. You're right.
yeah, okay. So Shara said she likes the idea of what the board might look like. Okay, fine. Anybody else? We are easily drawn by aesthetics, but do you understand the kind of gameplay, or do you understand what this game is representing so far?
I'm kind of confused, like towards the end. So like everybody wants to get close to the dragon. Like
No.
how?
You can choose to get close to the dragon, and if you beat it, the dragon. Every time you hurt the dragon will become stronger. This is the health of the dragon. If you kill the dragon, you will get an item that is what we will consider as very, very overpowered. It's a bonus. What the hell? What happened to my code?
Yeah.
It is what we will consider as something that is very, very overpowered. It's very difficult to take down, but the objective of the game does not require you to take you down. The objective of the game requires you to kill all 3 other players.
Then why
So-
is a dragon? I mean, that's the thing. I'm just confused. If that's the case, why is even the dragon there?
He holds a very powerful item that will help you kill people.
I'm guessing it's
But-
just to give
but
them
he's in
an
the
advantage
cen-
over other dungeon masters.
The thing is, he's in the
I have a
sense.
Yeah. Is the map going to be this size only? Is it going to be bigger?
Sorry, come again?
Is the map going to be this size or is it going to be bigger?
This is the size that we chose. We chose 5x5 for everybody. And then the dragon will occupy the centerpiece.
Okay. You see the red markers it's path, right? So is it gonna it's moving, right?
Come again?
The red markers you said is
The red marker is for the merchant to go on. This is the merchant's route.
Okay.
There will be a merchant and he will go on. I believe this is what we will be picking for the route. So he will rotate around like a clock based on the dice roll. So let's say if you were to, let me spawn something. Let's say if you were to roll a 6, then he will move by 6. Oh, sorry. But if you roll by 1, then he only move 1 step. Then he will stay in someone else's territory.
I see.
So what's the main
Okay.
what's the main objective of the game?
Kill everyone else. Everybody has a health
But
bar.
what he's saying is the main objective is to be the last person standing.
Yes.
person.
So this specific player is a mage, but once again, placeholder for now. Let's say everybody control one character, and you're supposed to kind of venture into another people's dungeon and challenge them. And assuming that you kill them, then you killed another people, then you win the game. However, you can also consider forming cooperative bonds. You decide which of these cards you want to put within your chest. So, for example, let's say I do not like this Soraka. I do not like the player who is in the Soraka. So I decided to put near him a chest that it has a monster on it, just so that when he ventures to my territory, I want to make things difficult for him. But let's say I do like the player who's controlling Moratti. So perhaps I would put treasure for him to find when he comes to my dungeon.
Wait, why would you have a hate system? Wouldn't you want to be the last
Because
person?
it is not against the rule for you to team up with another player. Let's say, it's not against the rule for, let's say, Moratti and this sorcerer player to perhaps eliminate these another two player. Or let's say one player is getting too strong. Let's say he has gathered a lot of very powerful items. Yeah. the two of you can consider cooperating to take down the strongest player first.
Okay.
So I do want this game to have a strong sense of political intrigue to it, so that if you are getting too strong early on, you will get targeted by other players.
Okay, you said political intrigue, and then but earlier you also said something about constructing your own space.
Yeah, at the beginning, you have 10 pieces of walls. And as long as you do not block yourself off completely, you can form your walls however you like. When attack starts, when people start fighting, let's say you are here, you are relatively safe unless someone else has a specific items that allows them to attack over the wall, because attack does not go through walls. So you can construct the dungeon however you like. You can make it so that it is a very narrow path to reach your treasure, for example, so that it is very difficult to reach your treasure, as long as there is an existing route to the treasure. So let me rotate this thing.
So you want to reach your treasure, and then you have
Another people has to reach your treasure. You get to place the treasure. You have to place the treasure, and other people has to reach your treasure.
Okay, I got one question. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say you attack and killed Soraka. What will happen to his territory? Will it be claimable by all players or only by you? Or will you consume it yourself?
That is something that we are still kind of working on. There is one system part that we are still thinking on what we should do. I think we just leave it. Let's just say for now, we'll leave it as an empty land. That since he's out of the game, we'll just say that it is gone, done, and it collapsed for now.
So you're saying his quadrant just collapsed and it's not claimable land anymore?
Yeah, you can still walk over it. You can still walk on it, but nothing will improve. The master is there. Nothing will improve. No new walls will be formed, and no new treasure will be placed.
Okay. Let's wrap up our discussion. So now,
Okay, question.
Yes. Okay, Eti, you're saying something.
If some player defeats the dragon and he gets that, you are saying that he will get that extra a
Treasure.
powerful item. So doesn't it give the player a really huge advantage to other players?
It will.
Does other player stand a chance to win?
If they cooperate, that's also a possibility. Perhaps if they cooperate. Once again, cooperation is also an aspect of the game. Let's say that one player stole the dragon treasure, and you can choose to cooperate to try and take down the player with the dragon treasure. You can also choose to, or maybe if the person is already on very, very low health, and you just go in for the final kill. It depends.
So it depends on how you are actually interacting in real life with other players. Like if you are actually friends with the other player, you can team up with him and actually win.
Yes, but the dragon scenario is quite hard to achieve because the dragon is quite hard to kill. So if the player actually managed to kill the dragon, I did think that they deserve to be well rewarded for their effort.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Thanks for the feedback, guys. So anyway,
thank you all very much.
Okay, Croxigo, it's very complicated. I'm just gonna be really honest. It's very complicated. I think there's just too many game mechanics there. I'm not sure which one is important in terms of hierarchy, because the dragon seems to be in the center. Seems like the dragon looks to me is, when I see this, I can imagine a title called Dragon Rule. Something like that. So, but you get to kill the dragon who's ruling to get some additional power-ups, but then the dragon come back to life again. I mean, what is
No,
that?
I never said that. Dragon stays dead forever.
Oh, really?
If you kill the dragon, it's gone.
How is it so easy to kill the dragon then? Just to
It is
get a
not.
power-up?
It is not. It gets progress. Every 5 health the dragon is missing, it gets progressively harder to even penetrate the skin of the dragon.
Okay.
It gets stat boost at every point.
Alright.
Every 5 health missing.
Okay, fine. Then, but what I do understand is the battle royale element, like one last person standing. So you have to defeat others. But what I don't agree is you get to ally with them. I think you eliminating that competitiveness because you only have 4 players there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you could. So if you just have 4 players, it's pointless to ally. I don't see the point of allying, because just you have so much of resource with you, and you have the opportunity to get power up for yourself. I don't see the point of having an ally. But you get to get a merchant, you got treasure chest, you get to build walls. Now I'm only curious as to how the gameplay works. So what would be good to get started already, just like the previous group? Start playing it.
Yes.
Yeah, start playing it, and prove to yourself that you have a structured gameplay and a very clear-cut gameplay, and time yourself, and start to take down notes. But don't interrupt yourselves as you play, that something is wrong here, whatever. No, just continue, just note down what's wrong later on.
Can I just add one last thing, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Just to clarify one more element. About the cooperative gameplay, the objective of the game is still the same: be the last one standing. So at some point, you can cooperate to take down a stronger player. But after you take down the stronger player, what's next? You will probably have to backstab your ally.
Okay, that's the in-game logic. If you want to add the in-game logic, put that in the rule book. But let's see how it works. Play among yourself first. But remember, you can't just depend on your opinions. Yeah. So, I think, it'd be good if you want to record your gameplay or playtest, your own gameplay. Record that one round, and then let's see what happens. And you can share it with us, or share it with some of you. Yeah. Then we can watch it and see. Okay, playtest 1. You have a recording of it. And let's try to examine it, what's happening, but with no interruptions. Yeah, you just smooth playtest. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Who's next?
Sir, can I present?
Yeah.
I have some updates. Sir, can you see?
Yes, I can see.
So we decided to make a tabletop game, and it's the similar concept, but very simple, actually. So basically, what this game is about is you have to get
angle. You're showing that's a pretty good angle. Yeah. But how did you manage to get this kind of board?
I had to custom make it from other assets. Mix and match of many assets.
All right, looks really.
And then so basically, this this platform, I put it on top of the table, lock it, and then get rid of the table, and that's how I achieved this. How did you do
that? You can do that?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay, continue, please.
Yes. So it's a 4-player game. You can play it alone. You can play it with your friends, like up to 4 people you can play. You have a ranger, you have a knight, you have a thief, and a mage. So the most amount of damage can be done with your knight. Ranger has like more. Ranger has a different dice that you can use to like have more range.
Yeah, sorry.
So basically,
sorry to interrupt you, but you're explaining the details without explaining what this game is about. What's this game really about?
Okay, this game is about this, like Kroxigor said, like a labyrinth, or you can say it's a dungeon, but it's not a dungeon. This game is about going to the dragon, getting all the loots first, and then going to the dragon, killing the dragon. The dragon is the main boss, and after you kill the dragon, you have to escape. So basically, the player that can get all the chests or most amount of chests wins. There's a chest over here, and there are many other chests over there.
Oh, so you got to go find chests.
You have to go find chests. So the player who has the most amount of chests is the winner in the game. You have enemies that you can fight, and there are some enemies that you have to be a little bit strategic about. For example, this ogre over here. If there's a chest that he's protecting, you cannot fight him with your team. So what you have to do is send somebody to the tower. And from the tower can shoot 2 bolts So either you can, and the ogre needs 2 balls to die. But if you kill this ogre and take the chests, you won't be able to kill him. But both of them. Can you silence your phone, please? Yeah. Both of them has. Where was I? Yeah, the golem. Golem has lower health than the ogre. So let's say you want to fight the golem, but kill the ogre with your tower. But the more experienced you get in this game, the more you will know who you can kill and who you cannot kill. So let us start playing. So how this game works is we have a white dice and a black dice. The black dice is for attacking and the white dice is for moving. So I have 1, so I can go 1 step forward. So the game starts from here. You can take your team if you want, or if your team wants to have their own mobility, you have other dices that you can use to play. And the other thing that I forgot to mention is we will be adding a timer, which you can use to, like, let's say 30 minutes. You have to finish the game in 30 minutes. Whoever gets the most amount of chess in that certain period of time wins. But if you don't set a timer, whoever can get to the portal wins after getting all the chests.
So you must get all the chests before you get to the portal.
Yes. For the portal to work, you have to kill the dragon. So you have to choose, like, should you kill the ogre to get the chest, or should you kill the dragon to activate the portal?
Let me get this straight. You have 30 minutes to venture out from that starting point to collect chests, kill the dragon, and then escape to the portal.
Yes.
I don't think so. There's enough time. I don't know. I don't. Okay. I don't know if I can't. I don't think we should time it at 30 minutes literally now. But have you actually played it? Does it work?
Yes, sir.
Really?
So yeah. But not in 30 minutes. Like I said, like 30 minutes to, like, make some more challenge, because there will be a timer. If you want to use the timer, you can use the timer.
But bear in mind, there's more than, let's say you play with 4 players. Do you think in 30 minutes it's possible? Because it's turn-based, right?
Yes.
So how? How can you do this in 30 minutes?
Sir, forget about the 30 minutes part. I just, like, said it because, like, just in case if you want more challenge, that's why. Okay.
So it's not 30 minutes. Okay.
It's not 30 minutes.
Okay, for a moment there, I thought you meant, oh, it only takes 30 minutes to complete this, or that is the criteria to win the game or something. I don't know.
Yes,
okay,
I
anyway.
used a lot of, like, platforms and what's that called, enemies, so that we can finish the game earlier, because at first it was taking a lot of time.
So what's the movement like? You dice and move?
Yes. So basically, as you can see, this is
dice.
1 block, 2 block, 3 block, right? So if I roll the dice, let's say we start from here. I have 6, so I can move 6 times, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Or like that. Okay.
Yes, I can take any direction.
All right.
But after, let's say, I come here, I can, instead of going here, I will be adding a fog of war. Fog of war, so that you cannot see, like, where you are going. Basically, you can see up until here, but you won't be able to see the goblin or whatever that is here.
I see.
So you have to discover your path to the dragon, and then to the portal.
So the fog of war is one of those mechanics in the game. So you basically you need to explore that.
Yes, so that you have to explore, and as you explore, like, you can send, for example, when you're together, you don't need more than 2 dice. But let's say you want to send your ranger on top of the tower, but you don't know there's a tower over there that can kill the golem or the ogre.
How does that work? How will the ranger go to the tower?
For the ranger to go to the tower, the ranger needs to use a separate dice.
But in the game right now, where will the ranger go? In the tower?
For example, right now, given that I'm only playing by myself.
Where will you place your piece? if you want to get to the tower. Because the
So
tower
basically,
looks like a structure. That means, does that mean that you place your ranger at the bottom of the tower there? Is there something like a platform where you put the ranger there, and how does it work?
basically the ranger has to be here. There's a ladder.
Where?
If the ranger is here, you can command the ranger to kill the ogre. But for the ranger to be able to kill the ogre, your black dice has to
Yeah.
be 6.
That is
If it's-
that is if the ranger's using range. If the
no, no,
ranger
no.
is a range unit, or the
No,
tower
no,
is
no.
the range, it shoots the ogre from there.
The ranger won't be shooting the ogre.
Then
It's the tower that has cannons
yeah,
that
the
will
cannon.
kill the
Yeah, of
kill
course.
the ogre.
The cannon. So the cannon shoots the ogre from the tower there.
Yes.
Sorry guys, I know I sound like a noob, but I just purposely want to ask this question.
It's okay. It's okay.
but you see, yeah, okay.
So let me play a bit. I will just play with my character. I haven't written down the rules yet, so if I write down the rules, you
Yeah.
can kind of know
Yeah,
which
just-
enemy does how much damage.
Yeah, just make it quick because I need to go
Okay.
to the yeah.
3.
All right, so then you got 3. You can skip some steps. 1.
Okay.
So how do you fight?
So-
Show them how do you fight the goblin or something?
So the goblin, if the goblin strikes you 3 times, you die. Okay.
So
So-
that is by dice or what?
Yes, that is by dice.
Okay.
So basically, the goblin will attack you first, or
Mhm.
you can attack the goblin first based on where the goblin is looking.
So
For
how-
example,
So what are the criteria? Where would you have to be for the goblin to attack you?
the blocks, the 2 or 3 blocks in front where they're looking.
But there's no marker for that, right?
I can add a marker with this.
Yeah. No. I'm
Yeah.
just asking. I'm just trying to understand how the gameplay works. So I think the journey towards the portal is interesting. The journey towards the dragon is interesting. Yeah, all that is there. But what is a bit vague is what are the triggers? Where will you go? And why those triggers are existing there? What is the meaning of this journey? That's a little bit vague.
The narrative, you mean?
Yeah, and also the dragon. Why again you choose why this dragon? This dragon looks hell of a small, and that ogre looks like one fat, greedy creature. But this dragon, I don't know why it's really small. Looks a little insignificant compared to
Okay.
that ogre. Doesn't seem like the dragon is like the main enemy here. And also yeah, it looks it look at this whole place. I think it's fine. I think it's a very basically it's a compressed map, and that's okay. But you just have the trigger points where it is, the meaning of this journey, and the representation, and it's kind of cliche also in terms of how it, it's almost D&D kind of typical D&D thing. But what is the thing that what are the twists here? Something that we don't really expect to see in the game, but it's there, or some gameplay mechanic that we never thought we could try, or maybe we can try a new an additional game mechanic. I'm not trying to say change anything here. I'm just saying gameplay is the key here. So my suggestion is, I think just start playing it, keep playing it, and I think keep aiming for something that's a little bit more something surprising that you could add there, but not to say that you add any more complexity to it. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's
Sir, we will be working on the narrative. We just got done making the map and everything, and we are also
Yeah.
thinking of like how to make this more interesting and what to add traps, this
Yeah.
and that. Like that is something we haven't worked on yet.
I think for tabletop sim, currently you're simulating a possible world you might build in a digital form. in a 360 scrolling form. You know, it's great as a concept, but the thing is, we need to know how you simulate the gameplay here, and how will that work. That's the thing that I'm more interested to see working at this point. How And it has to be exciting enough that it draws the player to want to go to a certain place and defeat that, get that. What would the player keep with them as they play? Once they defeat this, what would they take and keep by their side? And looking at your board, I'm not too sure how the player is going. Is there any place to store their loot? You know, things like that. So it's like, yeah, you can do something like that, kind of Diablo adventure or whatever D&D, but there's got to be some twist, something, some uniqueness to it. Yeah. You want to make sure it has that.
I wanted to add, sir, a lot of things, but I'm not sure about the scripting mechanics in tabletop. I have to learn that a bit further.
Don't add things. I mean, think about the gameplay first. Priority is the gameplay. Yeah. So keep playing it, and I'm quite interested to play this at some point. But so again, let me know. You know, when you're free, and check with me. So I don't mind.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks. Nice work on the map. The map is amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Who's next? What do you think, guys, so far? I think you guys are at the stage where you can just by mid-semester, this is kind of expected. By mid-semester, by week 7, you should basically, you already have a sort of like an early version of the prototype, and I'm seeing that happening. So good job to all of you so far. I know some of you are also doing something in progress. Yeah, and I trust you've been doing some thinking about it. What about Etty and Naufal? Any developments?
Yes, we have actually. Naufal, you want to share?
Sure. I'll share. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Any new developments here?
So we're thinking more about the game pace and movement. So it's easier for and it took shorter to clear the game compared to last week. Not last week. Tuesday.
Have you all started playing it?
We haven't started playing with this map because we changed the map now. But we tried to play the previous version. And we
the previous version was taking too much time, so we actually shortened the time now.
Good.
We have introduced the mechanics which will actually lessen the time, the overall gameplay.
What's interesting about this is the political gameplay. That's the part I'm very curious, because I know the lords there will definitely want you to do favors for them. Okay, fine, you go and do that. And what happens after that? It's also very important.
I'm thinking like at the final narrative or the ending will depends on the winner, the lords. Because we'll be collecting, basically the games will be collecting lords favor, right?
Yeah.
And lords have their own affinities, like there are good lords, there are bad lords. And the ending will depends on what kind of lords you collect on your side. What kind of king you'll be.
So that means you have more quorum to call for more votes, you know, something like that.
Something like that, similar like that.
So the more lords you get to kiss ass, and you get that many votes, and they'll vote you into the throne.
Exactly, and there's one more thing that, for example, Lord 1 over here, he has like lesser power, like, and Lord 10 over here, he has like the most power, and of course his quest would be more difficult. So it's like a strategy as well for players. That which Lord do you want to go with? With the when you start the game, the players will actually go with the 1, 2, and 3, 4, because if you will not complete these 4 lords, first lords, then you cannot go actually to Lord 6 or 7 because their quests are difficult and you haven't actually reached that point or haven't gained that much HP to complete their quest. So it's kind of like a strategy as well, that which lord you're gonna choose and what quests are you gonna do.
Okay. All right. I guess you guys get started in the gameplay, but if possible, try to record your gameplay.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, record gameplay without interruption. Maybe 1 or 2 rounds. That'll be quite good. So okay, thank you. Looks quite exciting. What about the cards? In terms of the, are there descriptions on the cards in the cards?
Yeah, and some actually these are like ability cards and all that. They have like power ups and all.
Did you?
And
I know
there are
these
actually 3 kind of decks. There's
are those existing ones or
no designed it actually.
Yeah, Eti decided.
You did this, Eti?
Yes, sir.
Or they're not existing cards?
No.
You just you just reuse the graphics or Hearthstone on the other side.
Yeah, other than the back.
Other than the back, I don't understand.
So
So there are 3 decks right now. There's one deck which is the quest.
Yeah.
One deck is the weapons. And the third and the last, the main deck, is the principal deck, which will have the abilities, and it actually represent every box on the map. Wherever you land, you actually pick from the principal deck.
Okay. So, yeah. Sorry I asked you the question like I'm doubting you, but a lot of existing assets and a lot of existing cards. So it would be good to reinforce, you know, when you produce your game design document, when you're compiling all these things, right? So you just make sure you have references. I mean, that also for everybody else. Have references, have some evidence of the process to prove that, yes, some of those things are you did it, you did not take and just simply modify, or you know, things like that. So even if you did that, then you have to cite it, you got to mention it, this is what you do. Otherwise it might count as plagiarism, so be very careful about that.
Yes.
But you understand me, yeah? I think I'm not doubting you or anything, I'm just saying.
Yeah, of course I understand.
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, thanks guys. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Yes.
Just a quick request, I suppose it's called. Can we show you the gameplay about probably 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, sure.
Because the next week, Nigel and I, since we're from computer science, we have 2 midterms coming up and
I understand.
getting a little bit collapsed. Yeah.
No
Thank
problem.
you very much.
Can. But when you're free, just record your gameplay. You know, at the end of the day, you know, for self-directed projects, and I understand you have your term exams or whatever coming up. That's fine. I understand. You need more time or whatever to manage it. So I'm giving you the flexibility, but how it works is you got to have some evidence that you've done some gameplay. Remember, game studies really, I mean, the outcome of game studies or the outcome of any prototype really depends on a lot of testing. You know, Croxigo?
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are gamers yourself, right? So you get it. I mean, you see all the early access, you get it, you know, how many times they're being played. So the same way. All right. No problem, man. Just keep in touch. All right. Who's next? Ziwei Panwen is not well. She mentioned to me. That's okay. But there anything you want to show first, or you want to hang on till Panwen is okay? Then you could.
We have something to show, but
Okay.
right now my tabletop seems crashing. It's been crashing for a long time again. Because
Really?
just now I meet with Jiali and keep on crashing right now. So
Oh no. Okay,
I'm
don't
not
panic.
sure.
Don't panic. Don't panic.
Yeah.
Um.
Maybe give me some time. I
Can.
try to figure out. Yeah.
Take your time. Don't panic. Find out why it's crashing. I'm not. Sometimes whether it's memory, not sure why. But your computer, I'm sure the fact that you guys can run tabletop, your computer should have a GPU, right? A graphics processing unit.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so you have, but then maybe it's crashing for other reasons. You
Yeah.
might need to check. Sometimes it's all about the connection. All right, while they are checking on their technical issues, what about the others? How about who haven't we spoken to yet? Basically, we almost covered everyone, right? There's no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6. Who hasn't yet?
My group.
All right. Your group is what? Which Cool Paladins? Are you?
Name is work in progress.
Name is work in progress. Yeah. Go ahead. Share screen.
Okay, so the last time we saw a game, we did it with Civ World Builder, and now we completely changed it to tabletop. So we wrote everything down about the game in this book. So we just pop up the book, show everything here. The game flow is the game flow is the same thing as last time. To complete against another player to get ascension, and we changed it up so that in order to do so, they have to kill mobs. This is the mob. There's goblins, orcs, cyclops. This is a brambleback, and then there's gonna be more mob of this. And for them to win the game, they're gonna have to get 3 ascension points, and I'll explain how to get those ascension points later. So these are the rules. Both players have to choose a basic class between a ranger. So here is between a swordsman, an archer, and a mage. This are how the cards look like. This is how swordsman looks like. This would be how an archer looks like.
So that's currently placeholders, right? Those are not the actual cards yet, right?
I think they are the actual cards.
What? They are the actual cards? You guys did the artwork?
The artwork.
They're not your artwork, right?
Actually, don't make a placeholder, I guess. Yeah, placeholder.
They're all placeholders, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. I was just saying these are all placeholders. So you're trying to say that all these cards will look like this.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
So these are the hero cards. So we go back here. Each player, once they both select their class, they will start in opposite sides of the colors of the map. So one will spawn over here, and the other will spawn over here. What that happens, they have 2 phases. They can move. They can have the movement phase and the action phase. So basically, movements they can decide however they want. They can do action then movement later. So that when they fight something, they can fight it then move back maybe. And once both phase action and movements are over, the turn will be considered complete.
How come the map looks quite dark? Is it how it's
This is not this is not going to be the final one. I'm going to add more stuff to it. This is just like how the layout of the map is going to look like, where the mob are going to be. This is some decoration that I'm going to add more later on.
And you're using some of those free assets, right? To construct this.
Yeah.
You constructed this, or it came like this?
I constructed the thing.
Looks great.
Okay, so the action phase for the movement phase, we decided on a D6 movement dice, so you can get up to 6. Get up to 6. For the action phase, there are a couple of action phases. So during a player's action phase, if a player is not in a combat state, they can choose the following. They can choose the dash, which is to get an additional movement dice, additional D6. They can choose to utilize, use one of their items or consumables. They can cast. They can use their weapon skill or spell.
The action phase, the dash, utilize, cast, attack, recall. These are all grouped up in the card or something to. I mean, kind of like your card is like showing you the inventory of these things.
I think this is just. Wait, let me.
Right.
Wait.
Usually you have
these are just like options that you can take. Like if you're not in a combat phase.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that the cards, character cards, right? You have you have all these points for this, right? There. So because it's hard to remember all of these things, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. It's kind of really hard to remember all that. I mean, as I move, I just probably think about attack. I would probably be asking questions like, what am I going to do with that? What am I going to do there? Where am I going to forge? How am I going to upgrade the item? But at least if it's all on the card, maybe represented by symbols, then on this rule book, you can put a symbol beside cast, attack, recall, forge. Then I could refer to the rules. Okay, good, I got forge. Now I've got to look for blacksmith on the map. I'm gonna roll a dice. I'm just move to the blacksmith. Or each turn, I'm just gonna move 2 steps, or use a compass, or whichever, something like that, you know. So your map looks like a map which is alive, but you got to make sure it's alive. And your character's movement on the map, I still have doubts about dice movements, because I prefer you to, yes, can be turn based. Every turn based, for example, you got roughly about let's say if you have a grid system here. Is that a grid system here?
Yes, it's a grid system.
So what's the grids? The grids are pretty tiny. How?
Yeah, it's 1x1.
1-to-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really tell. I can't really see. It's not very clear, the grid system. It's just a lot more smaller grids within one big grid. Maybe you want to turn off the smaller grid. I'm not too sure whether it's important to show the smaller grids, but at least you have the larger grids. That's okay. And at least with the larger grids, you can count. Let's say if 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, say 8 by 8 square. So every player, for each turn, you have a 8 by 8 square. Okay, 64 square, 8 by 8 square for you to, to move about. You can move anywhere around there. You can choose whatever you want to do within that every turn. And once you have placed yourself around anywhere around there, You know, like say if you move your character to over there, then the next turn you will have 8 by 8 square from where you're at. So you are probably in the center of the 8 by 8 square. So everywhere you move, 8 by 8 square around you is your area of movement. So you can put yourself anywhere there. If there's a wall, you can't cross it. If there's no door, you can't cross it. If there's a door, yes, then you can go through it, put your character above the wall somewhere there. But if there's no door, you can't cross it. So that, you know, kind of like that. I mean, for example, you have movement mechanics that does not always need to rely on dice. The problem with dice is it's so time consuming and it's based on chance. But instead of basing on chance, you base on the character's power, ability, just like what you wanted. I'm just saying this because you have a card, you have character cards, and what's wrong with saying that, okay, this guy is a bard, or this guy is a some kind of a warrior, and he wears armor, so he has, I mean, every card has a 8 by 8 maybe square thing, but in terms of, there's got to be something else there to indicate how this person moves, or I don't know. You know, for example, the abilities are there, and for example, if within the 8 by 8 square it has a wall with no doors, and your character happened to be some kind of mage, then this mage can go through walls. You know what I mean? Something like that. So you could, so everybody has 8 by 8 square, but everybody has different abilities, which maybe gives you a little advantage over the space around there. Kind of like that, you know? So rather than having a dice, so I thought maybe you want to movement for dice. No. You know why I'm saying this? Because you want to eliminate the other thing that might add complexity to your game. So dice, no. Focus the dice on other things. Maybe battle, maybe other things, because you got other things to worry about here. So don't let the movement be a main obstacle. Movement should be easy, free. It you know, something like that. That's just like makes you want to progress on in the game in a much in a better pace, you know, smooth, fluid, very fluid way. So then looting, yeah, and by having a radius of movement, and you gives you the freedom to choose. You know what player love in games? They want to choose. Don't you all like to choose? You have the privilege to choose, and looking at your map, it's just that your map is just so interesting that you have things in there. You got loot bags, and those bags got gold guarded by creatures. Yeah, I go there, I want to fight them. Let's throw the battle dice, and then if you manage to kill them off, then you grab that bag and put it by your side, and it has, each bag has gold in it, like 200 gold, so you get that, and with this gold you can buy stuff. I think that'll be quite cool, you know. Then you refer back to your cards for your abilities, and then ownership of something. Maybe you own you know, you own a district, or you get ranked up. If you're ranked up, what happens then? But what must be clear, see, what I would just explain is the movement mechanics, looting, and things like that. But what must be clear eventually is the gameplay. What are your main objective here? So tell me, what is really, if I was the character and I have a character card, does that mean that I have this character card for the entire duration of the game? That means
So from the character cards, you have it. You should be permanently. You had it throughout the game,
right?
I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So basically that, but then you need to play this in your with your team members, and ensure that you have there is some sense of achievements, or there's a main achievement, epic achievement at some point. what's the whole point of the game? You have all this freedom to make choices, but what is that leading you to do? So there has got to be some kind of narrative or some kind of script or some kind of you know, a gameplay structure that will guide you towards your goal, or whatever, or somehow you have 3 types of main pathway you can choose, depending. If you were to choose, you know, there's so many ways to see it, you know. So if you choose one of these pathway, you can it all lead you to the same, I mean, you have the same goal, but if you choose those 2 pathways, something will be less, something will be more, things like that. Kind of like you're trying to simulate choice making in an open world game. Yeah. So in here, you're simulating choice making, but more as efficiently as you can. So you can make choices, but what is still scripted here is you still have that goal, because you can't complete the game without achieving that goal. If you do not achieve the goal, you lose. Or if one of you achieve the goal before everybody else, the game ends. So you need to determine what's the end point. What's the winning condition?
The end point is him getting 3 ascension points and then killing the opposing player on the elite enemy.
So
And that win the game.
to kill other players or killing them?
So I think once he gets 3 ascension points, which can get 1 by either killing a player, either killing an elite enemy, or killing 12 mobs. And then in the end, once he gets 3 ascension points, he has to either kill the player or an elite mob. And the elite mobs is Battleback, Leviathan, Dragon, Warden, and
Very good. Okay, very interesting actually. A player will achieve victory when she obtains 3 ascension points. I like the word ascension points. That means once you have enough ascension points, you ascend.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I like that the idea. Sounds really interesting. Okay, now what you need to do is play it and try to record your gameplay, and please do something about that grid system. That grid looks really...
I actually did try, because the asset I used came with this grid. So I was trying to make it so that this doesn't have this 2x2 square inside here. I wanted it to be like one entire thing.
Because you can't see it, you know.
Yeah, it's difficult to see. This is one of the problems I'm currently facing.
Not a good thing. And it's the color is really dull. It needs to be lighted up, or something a bit more brighter, maybe. Something you can see very clearly, you know. So
Can I ask something?
yeah.
Go ahead.
How do you manage to pull the table out? I've been trying all the time.
How do I?
You mean how I managed to make this map after all the effort I had?
No. The table on the side.
The table is a custom asset,
this is a
right?
custom asset. Yeah, this is a Steam Workshop thing.
Wow.
It's a Steam Workshop table.
Yeah, you
I might try using that one instead. The table is way better than what I'm using right now.
Just the top Kraken, then by Lily, I think, if I remember correctly.
Okay, nice. Okay.
It's amazing. You guys are geeking out on tables. How nice. Okay. Okay, guys. Good job. Record your gameplay. And we'll talk further. Okay? Give it some more thought.
Alright.
Right, who's next?
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
I think we show you the dog. We have
Can.
captured some picture, so
Can.
couldn't respond. Yeah.
No problem. Just show me that first.
Alright. Alright, okay, so basically how we're gonna play is that max 4 players, so they will have to choose their characters. So from 4 of the characters we provided, so their goal is to win 5 of their characters item and reach the end. So when it comes to their turn, they have to move by just picking their step card. So every step they choose is they can decide their own. So it depends on their own step card and also depends on the terrain. So basically, we have mission and chance and also item. So for the mission will be that for each of the characters they have things that they need to do. So like if they land on the mission, so they will have to choose a card. So they choose a mission card. It will be randomized. So all this mission is listed out over here. So if one of them is they need to say an encouraging sentence to cheer her up. So if they choose their own, then they cheer themselves up. But if let's say I'm doctor, and the doctor is orangutan, so if they choose something, they have to cheer Peacock. But if Peacock doesn't feel or she is not cheering up, then keep on going lah. So they have to done their mission before they can go on.
I like the chance card. Some of the chance cards looks interesting.
Yeah. So on the chance card, there will be their own deck. So for Peacock, they will have a good one and the bad one. So it's really by random. If they go on the chance, they might have things like benefits that is, if it's good, then they have extra 2 rounds, and or maybe they obtain another items. Or for the bad one is that they cannot move for 2 rounds, or maybe they have to get off the items they have collected, or just maybe say bye bye for a few rounds now.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically that's the idea, and yeah, and
Yeah. The
Okay.
Can I see that map? You wanna zoom up a little bit?
you know. Is it too big? Okay.
Okay. So
So,
this is like
yeah.
the basic framework.
Yes, so,
So
it will
you're
look
moving. These are
something like
pathways,
this.
right? Are those pathways? Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, just pathway. So
So
the
the-
deck will be under the empty space. So each move that they can randomize themselves, and if they fall on go to item, straight away teleport to item, and if they reach to the go to start, they're back to the start, back
Okay.
to again. So it's really strategized.
So is it something like a race or something? Are you guys racing with each player is running against time, or racing against time, or racing against each other, competing? Is that what is happening?
Yes. So they are racing each other. Who will achieve their dream first?
So there's only one pathway, and everyone is competing along the same pathway.
Yes. So they will all on one pathway.
So and how are you moving? By dice?
Not by dice. They will have their own deck that is the number deck, which is they can pick how far they can go forward 4 step or 5 step or 6 step, or they can go backwards also.
So the movement
So
is
it really-
based on card deck, on the card.
Yes, card deck.
Okay.
So it can go front and backwards.
So the movement. So what are you? What role are these players playing here?
Okay, what roles they will play is that
mean,
as
what-
mentioned, they choose their character.
If you were to, for example, sorry to cut you off. If you were to name this game, what was this game called?
We call it as Dreamers.
What?
Dream plus animals. So it's all about their dream.
Dream and animals.
Call it Dreamers. Yeah.
Dreamals. Dream
Yeah,
and
Dreamals.
animals. I like it. I like the name.
Yeah.
Dreamals. Now that's interesting. But I'm curious about
Yeah.
I'm curious about the board, but never mind. Let's focus on the gameplay.
Yeah.
But it sounds really interesting. Now tell me, if you, I think you had some issues trying to connect with tabletop. Do you always face this problem?
No. But just now I tried, because just now we got meeting, right?
Mhm.
And I tried to go in, but every time I want to load down the deck or maybe the board, it can't just straight away cut off and I need go in again. And now it's not responding.
Oh dear.
So
I see.
I don't know, maybe I need to restart my laptop. I'm not too
Probably.
sure.
Probably. Would you?
Yeah.
Would you? You know, I can help to host it, and then
Mhm.
I can host the three of you. You know, maybe
Yeah.
next time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to sort it out. Maybe I restart.
Yeah. Maybe if you want, maybe on Tuesday, I could host the tabletop session, and then I'll send you the password and so you guys join my one, but you will need to. I have to make you as the promote you so that you can use your board. I think.
To the host, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It works, it works. Just right now, it doesn't let me go in the responding part.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, but it sounds interesting. I like. At first, the reason why I asked you that, because at first when I saw how you move on the path, and I know it looks interesting, but it looks very familiar. It looks something that you've often played before. It's a very common gameplay version. But then when you explain that it's you don't really move using dice, it's although you compete, but you all depended on the deck of cards. And secondly, the context of the game is very important, and it's called Dreamals because dream in animals. That is really amazing, and that makes a lot of sense because I saw the content of your cards. There are things that you only do in your dreams. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think chance is also something that every time you go on achieving your dreams, there might be good chance or bad chance for us. So that is the thing that we want to transfer also. And those mission is those encouraging. There might be have good people that is around you that keep on motivate you. So that's how we came out of.
Very interesting concept. Make sure you have these written down and record it. Nice work.
Yes. Okay. Sure.
Good progress. Thank you.
No, thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So Soul Razor done. Have we covered everyone? So every group have spoken about your prototypes. Everybody have?
I think so.
Yeah, looks like it. Because I'm seeing your name list, but I'm not. I didn't open the Google Sheets. Okay. I think everyone is making progress overall, and I believe there's still some more work to be done, and do take heart. It's a process. Next week we don't have to meet actually, because next week there's no formal meeting, no formal classes next week because it's independent learning week. Correct? You all know about that, yeah? Everyone knows? Everybody know?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So we have no formal class next week. But keep in touch. I will remain, my options will remain open. So do let me know in case if you want to have a game session. Yeah, let me know. Okay, I'm not gonna join your game to find fault or anything. Let's say we're just gonna have fun playing it, but in the process, it's all about improving it, all about trying to make your game more sensible, more playable, and more replayable. Yeah, you don't want your external players to come in, and the moment They see your game pretty, but the moment they see your rule book, you know, I want to play a simple game. You know, you don't want them to say that. That's the challenge. You want to you want to draw the players into your game. If your players are really interested to play your game, there's something there that's drawing them in. It's not about good game or bad game. It's about the game that people want to play. Yeah, the game that we want to play, whether it's fantasy or based on real life, or whichever the case, it's a game that we all want to play together. And I think today, nowadays, if you look at our culture, times have really put us in a position where we want to connect with each other, especially, you know, if it's online. So yeah, I believe you guys are really exhausted. So I think since we covered everyone, I think that's basically it. So let me just send you the CAMS code, and then we can call it a day. Any questions, anyone? Anything you all want to share? Anyone have any questions?
I think maybe after we test out, we meet like after.
Yeah, I guess we got more to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah.
CAMS is trying to load now, and as soon as you do your CAMS, then we can call it a week. For some reason CAMS is not loading very well. Okay, I'm giving you the code. I'm going to post it in the chat. There you go. I posted something in the chat as well. If you notice, it's called the worldanvil.com. Check it out. If those of you who are very interested in world building, it's really good. It's really good. It teaches you how to build a world. You know, if you're a storyteller, for example, you can build your own world. Even have, you know, build the world. Then when you write your stories, you can refer to many of the information there, everything in one place. It's really interesting, because I'm actually writing fiction, and I thought this was, I never knew they had such a world building management tool, something like this. I even developed some calendar system, you know. Croxico, it's here. It's right here. I know this is gonna turn you on. So there, I already pasted here, worldanvil.com. Yeah, it's in the chat up here. Oh, my fiction. Oh boy.
No, I understand. I saw the link. It's a fiction. I'm curious.
Yeah, well, it's purely fantasy, but I just managed to establish a calendar system it's another planet basically. So yeah, I would love to geek out with this with you guys. Soon, okay? A little shy. Okay, guys, if you have already input your code, thank you. Have a good rest. I guess you need it. Have a good weekend, all of you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye. Keep in
Thank you, sir.
touch. Game on.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Bye. Thank you, sir.